Hello Newhouse, and thank you for coming back. Again, my name is Andrew MacBeath, a current broadcast and digital journalism student at the Newhouse School at Syracuse University. In the last episode of this series, I went over the basics of League of Legends and professional play, giving a little bit of basic rules and structures as to how the game is played on the professional level. In this episode, I will take an even deeper dive into a game played between two powerhouses in League of Legends, Team Liquid and Evil Geniuses. This game is a high-stakes Game 5 in a best-of-5 series, a win-or-go-home scenario. Again, in this game, I will be diving into the more specific rules and specific compositions of League of Legends, and a lot of the strategies that teams use against each other. If you haven't seen the first episode where I go over the basics, take some time to check that out right now and come back to the video. Now that you're all up to speed, let's hop in and see what these teams do to try to take each other out and move on to the championships. Hello and welcome to the match. Again, this is a match between Team Liquid and Evil Geniuses. This game happens to be the fifth and final game in a best-of-5 series, so both Team Liquid and Evil Geniuses have taken a game off each other. This being the final match, it is a very intense game, full of a lot of great plays, a lot of strategy, and pretty much everything you want to see in a competitive League of Legends match. I've started here at the very beginning so you can see what goes on during the champion selection phase. Like I explained before in the previous video, champion selection is when the teams both ban and pick champions from a shared pool of the 150 plus champions. As of right now, there are 5 champions banned, 3 from Team Liquid and 2 from Evil Geniuses. Typically, banning champions is done to counteract or to strategically take off an option from the enemy team's arsenal. So for example, if Evil Geniuses or Team Liquid is particularly good at using a certain character, or a player on one of the teams is very good at using a particular character, the other team can simply ban it from the pool. This, of course, does one thing by restricting the enemy team from using that champion, but it also restricts you from being able to use it against them. So the champion selection phase is probably the most important part of the game, even though it only takes a couple minutes. So let's just start the video, and we can go through exactly what the team decides to do, what each team decides to do when choosing a champion. After Evil Geniuses bans their final champion, it is now Team Liquid's turn to choose champions. And as we see right now, Team Liquid is now has their first pick. They are currently trying to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to start this champion selection phase. Now a key feature and important fact about champion selection is that once a champion is chosen, it can be transferred or switched with any one of their teammates. So, for example, the person choosing a champion right now is Bwippo on Team Liquid. However, if he chooses to play a particular champion, it doesn't necessarily have to be his champion that he will play in the game. He can just switch with one of his teammates once the champion selection phase is over. So this is not going to be Bwippo choosing his top lane champion, but rather a champion that they want to either take for themselves because they're very good, or take away from Evil Geniuses because they are very good with that champion. This is all going to make a lot more sense once champion selection is over. For now, let's just go through, and I will essentially explain to you what each of the teams are thinking as they pick their champions. So first, Bwippo decides to pick the Trundle. This is going to be Santorin's champion after they decide to switch at the end of champion selection. Evil Geniuses then counters with another jungler pick of their own with the Poppy pick. The analysts are saying that Evil Geniuses will either pick a champion for the mid lane or the bottom lane. This will be either Jojopyun or Danny playing them. They have decided to lock in the Silas pick. This is going to be Jojopyun's champion in the middle lane. Team Liquid decides to pick Jinx and Lulu. These are going to be the bottom lane and support champions played by Hansama and Core JJ. Evil Geniuses is deciding to pick their bottom lane character. This one is going to be Misfortune, a long-range gunslinger. Now we go into the secondary ban phase, where each of the teams take turns banning 2 more champions after the initial 3 picks. Right away, Evil Geniuses has decided to take away Ornn from Team Liquid. They are likely to take away a top lane champion from Team Liquid to try to reduce their pool of champions that Bwipo can reliably play. Evil Geniuses and Team Liquid have now taken away Nautilus and Zillion. So now, let's see what Evil Geniuses and Team Liquid will finish with their final picks. Evil Geniuses will now lock in their support champion, Rakan. He has a lot of utility for teamfights later in the game and can be very useful. A very surprising pick from Team Liquid, very unconventional, Galio. This champion isn't played a whole lot, but will be played in the middle lane. Mostly was picked because of the Rakan pick on the side of Evil Geniuses. Alright, we're going to take our final pause, and these are the official teams of the final game between Team Liquid and Evil Geniuses. So to take you through on the side of Team Liquid, top lane, we have Bwipo playing Aatrox. Aatrox deals a lot of damage in a large area ahead of him and can stay alive for a long amount of time. We have Trundle. Santorin will be playing him in the jungle. He constantly increases the damage of his weapon over time and can slow down enemy champions with a very unique ability of his. Bjergsen in the middle lane will be playing Galio, who has a lot of health and can stay alive for a long amount of time, and can stop a full engagement with his sizable ultimate. On the bottom lane, also called the Attack Damage Carry, or ADC, we have Hans Sama on the Jinx. Jinx is a long-range gunner that can also deal area of effect attacks, or abilities that can deal damage in a large area as opposed to a single target. And finally, Core JJ will be playing Lulu in the support. Lulu increases the power of her allies and decreases the power of enemies depending on what ability she uses. See a lot of synergy coming out from Team Liquid and a lot of denial. For Evil Geniuses, on the top lane, Impact will be playing Renekton. Renekton can dive in and out for a quick amount of damage and has some survivability. Inspired will be playing Poppy in the jungle, where she can give herself armor and can smack away enemy champions from the teamfight, making it a very important ultimate later in the game. For Jojopion in the middle, we have Sylas. Sylas has the ability to steal and copy enemy ultimate abilities, making him a very big threat since you don't know exactly what he's going to do. Pay attention to Sylas and see what he does to use Team Liquid's abilities against them. For Danny in the bottom lane, Misfortune is, like I said earlier, a pirate gunslinger that deals damage in large areas, either in an area in front of her or even a circle in any direction. And finally, Vulcan will be playing Rakan for the support. He has a quick engage with an ability to stun and lock enemies in place, dealing a lot of damage and setting his allies up for some great team fights. We are now in gameplay. So, this is what the League of Legends map looks like in action. Like I said earlier, this is Summoner's Rift, a square-shaped map, bases on the opposite corners, the bottom left and the top right, with the Nexus in the heart of it near the back. On the map, there are several towers or turrets that shoot projectiles at enemies that get a little too close. Destroy these to get a little closer to the Nexus. There are 11 in total, 3 down each lane and 2 protecting the Nexus at the very center. As you can see in the jungle, all of the paths are shrouded in shadow and are completely invisible to all players unless there is a friendly champion or even an item called a ward that provides light in a single area. The most important thing about the jungle is to have vision in there at all times. So, revealing the jungle by placing these little wards or spots of light and every now and then walking through, especially for the jungler, is very important. And finally, you'll see these little tufts of grass. If you are in the tufts of grass, you are invisible to your enemies. So using those to get in and out of action is very useful. Finally, we also have minions. Minions are these small soldiers that automatically attack other minions, champions, or turrets that travel down the main 3 lanes, top, middle, and bottom. Destroying these minions will give you gold, which you can use to purchase items in the shop back at your base. Now, there are graphics on the sides and top that I will briefly go over. On the sides, we have the player info graphics. Let's take Team Liquid's Bjergsen as an example. First, we have their health bar and their mana bar, the green and blue bars respectively. Health bar, of course, describes how much health they have left. For a mana bar, all of their abilities cost mana to use. So if you use too much mana, your mana bar will go down, which means you won't be able to cast those abilities. Mana management is very important in this game. If you're out of mana, there is likely not a chance you will survive for very long. You will see a character portrait has a small number next to it. This means that this is their level. To level up, you have to destroy defenses, monsters in the jungle, and other champions or minions. Leveling up allows your character to increase their abilities and deal more damage, survive a little longer, help their teammates better, and overall do better in the game. Finally, summoner spells. These are the 2 icons to the left of the character portrait. Flash, or the yellow one with the silhouette in it, is an instant teleportation. In this case, Bjergsen has a teleport spell that allows him to transport to any friendly structure or person or minion in the map. It is currently on a very long cooldown or time between using the abilities. So summoner spells are very powerful, but you can only use them 1 time per either 2 or 3 minutes, so use them wisely. Finally, at the top, we have essentially the score bug of League of Legends. We have from left to right, let's take a look at Team Liquid's. We have the team logo. We have the number of games won in the series, in this case, 2 of 3. We have the number of turrets destroyed, currently at 0. We have the total amount of gold earned in the team, just reached 7.0k. And finally, the number of kills. As you can see, there is a small banner on the underside of Evil Geniuses that has a plus 191 counter. That is changing every now and then. This means that Evil Geniuses has allotted around 300 more gold than Team Liquid. Having a gold advantage is very important in this game because it allows you to purchase items a little quicker. That should be it. We have some icons that I will explain a little more. As you can see on the bottom, there are these items that each of the characters have. All of these can combine to greater items that can increase their power significantly. So I will just turn the sound back on and we will see how this game plays out. Interesting interaction here, as Inspired, the jungler for Evil Geniuses, decided to try to attack the top laner of Bwipo along with his teammate Impact. However, they were unable to secure a kill, so Bwipo was in a little bit of trouble. He did have to use his flash, which means it is on cooldown for another 3 minutes. So that is a bit of a victory for Impact and Inspired, even though they were unable to secure a kill onto Bwipo. As of right now, we are 6 minutes and 30 seconds in. No kills on either side, though that might change right here. Danny, very close to death here. We have Bjergsen coming in. He uses his flash to get over the wall. Oh. This might go poorly for Bjergsen. He's trying to get out as much as possible, but no. He gets taken down, and first blood goes to Evil Geniuses. They take the first kill of the game. Very impressive from Evil Geniuses. Let's take a rewind real quick just to go over exactly what it does here. So, essentially, what went down here, so I can explain it to you, is Team Liquid decided to collapse and attack Vulcan and Danny. They got Danny to very low health, and Vulcan also to about less than half health. Core JJ is a little low, but he is further back, and Evil Geniuses is currently trying to retreat, so they are in the winning position. Right here you can see Bjergsen on the top left of your screen, full health, ready to try to secure the kill onto Danny, and that is what he's going to try to do here. Hansama and Core JJ trying to get Vulcan away. He flashes, as does Bjergsen, to try to secure a kill, but Poppy knows this and is trying to come in and protect Vulcan and Danny, sees that Bjergsen is charging something up, and collapses onto Bjergsen, stunning him. This means that Bjergsen, for a very brief moment, can't do anything, which means Vulcan, Danny, Inspired, and now Jojopion on the left all have this large enemy that doesn't have any help, or the help that he does have is very low health. They're ready to capitalize on this, and they do, especially since, as I said earlier, Bjergsen does use his flash, so he is unable to use that ability to quickly get out of trouble. Because of this, Danny and Vulcan and Jojopion all collapse on Bjergsen. Hansama and Core JJ are too low health to help him, so Jojopion is able to come in and secure the kill for Evil Geniuses. Very great play from the whole of Evil Geniuses. Bjergsen looking like he's trying to engage onto Jojopion here, but now it's a 2-on-1. Core JJ does help him out though, so they're able to get out pretty soon. I decide to pause right here and show you what Bwippo is doing over here. So Bwippo is currently attacking what is called the Rift Herald. The Rift Herald is a purple crab-like creature that once killed can be picked up and summoned on behalf of a certain team, whoever picks up the Rift Herald, where the Rift Herald is then summoned and charges at a tower, dealing a massive amount of damage to that structure. It is often used to make a large dent in a defense and significantly propels the team's push towards the Nexus. This is done a lot earlier in the game, as the Rift Herald is only available for the first 18 to 20 minutes of the game. Afterwards, it becomes the Baron, but we will get to him later. Additionally, there are also the Dragons. The Dragons are on the opposite side of the field, located right here on the minimap. Dragons offer bonuses to the team that defeats them and appear in that small circle pit area every 5 to 6 minutes. There is a timer in the top left that indicates when the next dragon is going to spawn. If there is no timer, that means the dragon is already there. There's going to be a bit of a battle here in the Rift Herald pit, seeing if they can do something. There's Poppy launching one of Team Liquid away. However, Team Liquid does claim the Rift Herald, fairly uncontested, not a whole lot that Evil Geniuses could do. Not everyone fully retreated though. We have a large team fight in the top. Uh-oh, it's a 5-on-1 in the top lane. Impact, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get out of this one alive. He does though. Very well played by the Renekton. Just over 10 minutes, almost 11 progressed in this game so far. Only one kill on the side of Evil Geniuses to none for Team Liquid. Now every now and then you see champions do what is this, or let me go back here real quick. So every now and then you'll see a champion doing this, or channeling. Essentially what they do is they teleport back to base. Now a teleport back to their home base takes 8 seconds to complete, and they cannot be interrupted by either taking damage or moving. So it is a bit of a risky procedure to do, but as you can see, on the left side we have a Team Liquid player going back to their home base in the protection of their tower. whereas the champion on the side of Evil Geniuses is teleporting in the safety of the grass that obscures them from enemy champions. Now, traveling back to base will heal them pretty rapidly and restore them ready for another team fight. But the big thing, what it does though, is it allows them to purchase items in the shop once they have acquired enough gold from defeating minions, monsters, and champions. As of right now, there's only one champion that has been destroyed, so there's not a whole lot of gold that can be used in that regard. However, the gold is very essential to purchase items, which I'm sure these two champions are going to do as soon as possible. Now, I would love to go over what a lot of these items do. However, there are so many in the game that it is nearly impossible to go over them all. So, very basically, I will just point out to you what Aatrox decided to choose in the top lane. We have the sword that increases his damage, this red gem that gives him a little bit of extra health, this shield that increases his defense, this pickaxe gives him a bit of a larger increase in damage, and finally these boots that give him increased movement speed as well as even more damage. Aatrox is a very damage-oriented top lane champion, so it makes sense that he would have the sword, the pickaxe, and these particular set of boots in his inventory. As the game progresses, more gold equals better items, so the items will get increasingly more and more powerful and more complex in what they do. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of playing League of Legends to really understand what each item does and which items are important and more efficient in a particular both team composition and enemy team composition. Here we see Santorin summoning the Rift Herald, the crab beast that I described earlier. Now it is the Rift Herald's turn to try to charge and hit that red turret. We'll see what Inspired can do to stop this. He charges and takes a large amount of health away from the Rift Herald. Great play from Inspired. He may have overcommitted, but no, he takes out the Rift Herald. Great play from the Evil Geniuses jungler. This stops Team Liquid's ability to push down a lane and take away some of the health of the turrets, so very great play from Evil Geniuses to stop them from really progressing a lot further. We still have that dragon in the bottom right of the map that has not been attacked yet. We'll see who is going to attack that dragon first. Core JJ in a lot of trouble. He is alive though, he is able to stay up. Oh, they collapse on Hans Sama now that they know that the support is out of commission, and Jojo Pyun takes his second kill of the game. Great opportunity seized by Evil Geniuses as the ADC or bottom laner from Team Liquid is felled. A 3-on-1 collapse, and now Evil Geniuses will destroy the Hextech Drake, gaining a little bit of bonus along the way. Now, when destroying the Drake, what Inspired did on the Poppy is use their summoner spell called Smite. Smite is a very important spell to be used as a jungler because it allows the jungler to destroy a large jungle monster when it is under a certain threshold of health, around 10 to 5%. Once it is at that threshold, the jungler just presses their Smite summoner spell button, and it is immediately destroyed. What a lot of junglers decide to do, or try to do in a match, is steal, what is known as to steal, either the Rift Herald, or a dragon, or eventually the Baron once it appears, by running in, or flashing in, committing a flash as well, and hitting the Smite button at the perfect time to steal it from the other team that has been attacking it for quite a while. So they just wait for the other team to whittle it down to a certain amount of health until they finally smite it. Just like Inspired might want to do here, however Santorin is also trying to do that. He also has Smite, but Galio jumps in to try to stop that from happening. A great play, though, from Team Liquid as they stop that from happening. Team Liquid get their first kill of the game onto Jojopion, trying to get the Rift Herald. And now Impact is in a lot of trouble. A 4-on-1, there's not much he can do, and he will fall to Bwipo. Great play from Team Liquid, denying the Rift Herald from Evil Geniuses. The Galio pick really helping out there as he was able to jump in and stop Evil Geniuses from engaging and collapsing onto Santorin, saving his life and allowing them to take the Rift Herald and Jojopion and Impact out of the fight. Now the playing field is pretty much level, and Evil Geniuses has also lost the gold lead, as Team Liquid, as you can see on the top, they have the gold lead by about 500 gold. Uh-oh, Hansama tried to get out at the wrong time. Bjergsen had to come in and save him. Oh, and a massive inspired ult removes Bjergsen, removes Santorin and Bwipo from the fight, allowing them to take out Bjergsen. And now that they're back in the fight, Bwipo is soon to fall. Great play from Evil Geniuses, using the Galio against them. Oh no, and now here comes Silas taking out 2. That was a great play from Inspired and Jojopion to really take out Bjergsen and remove both Santorin and Bwipo from the fight with that Poppy ultimate. Like I said, the Poppy ultimate allows them to destroy or to essentially knock away enemy champions a considerable distance, removing them from an area or a fight very quickly. So they see Hansama trying to teleport, forcing the flash over the wall. Here comes Galio in the middle, but we see Bwipo come in on the teleport. They try to come in, but Inspired, there's the knockaway, gets Santorin and Bwipo flying off the map. They can't do a whole lot. Bwipo is forced to engage after his ultimate runs out. Vulcan gets away. Jojopion there stole the ultimate from Galio, copying it and using it against Team Liquid, stunning them, knocking them away, and now Silas is able to capitalize on that. And there's Bwipo, he can't believe it. Here's a big push onto the bottom lane turret. Team Liquid trying to break through, but the presence of Evil Geniuses shakes them off. As especially with that destruction and the great team fight from Evil Geniuses allows them to take a 2,500 gold lead over Team Liquid, giving them a lot more of a presence in the game. It allows them to get more items, better items, way quicker. Now that it's 20 minutes plus into the game, the Baron has spawned where the Rift Herald used to be. The Baron is a very, very important creature in the jungle, where killing it provides the team that destroyed it with the ability to power up their minions when they're in close proximity with them. Powered up minions stay alive longer and deal more damage, allowing them to push through the turrets and into the base a lot quicker. So expect a lot of big fights to take place in the Baron area as well as the Dragon area. The majority of fights happen there, and sometimes in the lanes, but especially in the late game, a lot of important fights take place around where Team Liquid is right now. Evil Geniuses is really prioritizing the top left area of the map in terms of vision or placing their wards. As mentioned earlier, the jungle is completely hidden from all players unless they are either in that area or have placed vision wards in that area to light up those areas. So placing wards in hidden areas or around walls, in small corners, is very important and is the jungler's biggest job. Providing reconnaissance, intelligence, and constant updates as to where enemy champions are is very important in managing the map and the game in general. We're seeing all 5 Team Liquid players in this middle lane area 4 of the 5 players on Evil Geniuses are meeting them. They're not sure exactly where to go, waiting for someone to strike. And there's Jojo Pyun, the final EG member, coming in, looking like he's on the flank. There he is. He's stolen Galio's ultimate. Bwipo has found Vulcan, though. Vulcan, the key for singling out a character. Evil Geniuses will now start taking down the dragon, or the Drake, which is just a younger dragon. Fun fact. Santorin, again, has the smite, as many junglers do, looking to try to steal it, but not a lot he can do here. Here's Vulcan on the top trying to come in. Here's the engagement onto Santorin. He is quickly... Ooh, he's almost there. Ooh, a nice attempt from Hans Sama with the Super Mega Death Rocket, but Evil Genius is able to both take the Drake and escape with all of their lives. Great play from Evil Geniuses to stop Santorin from coming in to steal. They didn't get the kill on him, but at least they forced him away and stopped him from coming in using a smite steal. So great play from Evil Geniuses, and they stay in the lead. Back in, 27 minutes have elapsed. Still 6 kills to 2 in favor of Evil Geniuses and a 1.8 thousand gold lead. 43.1 thousand gained for Evil Geniuses and 41.3 for Team Liquid. Santorin destroying all of the wards he can in the top left jungle, making sure that Evil Geniuses, can't see what he is doing. You will also notice that a lot of the item icons are now very different. What a lot of the items do is they combine to make stronger items that essentially have the same bonuses that the smaller, less expensive items had, while combining them and giving them a lot more of a significant buff. Oh my! Danny able to take down Core JJ in the middle of my explanation for items. Very impolite of him. Great play, though, from Danny, able to capitalize on Core JJ being the lowest health character on the Team Liquid side, and takes them down, forcing them to retreat for the time being. Evil Geniuses, 2 kills to 7 in favor of EG. 30 minutes elapsed. 2.5k gold lead. 3 dragons to their name. So Evil Geniuses is in a really great place to try to close out this game, especially with a well-done Baron fight, but Team Liquid is not quite done yet. They are not going to go out without a fight. It seems that there's going to be a fight here in bottom lane. Bwipo is a bit of a low health. He's going to try to retreat. Santorin not able to get out. Here comes Bjergsen to catch them out of position. But Danny out of position here. Bwipo trying to secure the kill. Almost drops, and down they go. Bwipo then goes golden using his stopwatch. Impact trying to get the kill on Bjergsen or Santorin, but he gets taken down by Hans Sama. What a play from Team Liquid, stopping a great push with Evil Geniuses. Absolutely well done by Team Liquid to stop a great push from Evil Geniuses, taking down the Mountain Dragon, getting an extra upgrade to their champions, but Evil Geniuses get caught out of position, try to commit, and Team Liquid, wonderful job at stopping a great push from Evil Geniuses, but some great teamwork, some well-executed plays from Bwipo and Bjergsen allows them to potentially go in here and take the Baron. Not a whole lot that Inspired can do. He's being forced away, and now Team Liquid will take the Baron. Now with the Baron buff, they can push a little further into the base of Evil Geniuses. This game is really now in the reach for Team Liquid. They have taken now a 5-kill lead to a 3 and reduced a 2,500 gold lead to only around 800 to 900. Fantastic play from Team Liquid. At 35.5 minutes in, still 4 kills to 7 in favor of Evil Geniuses. However, Team Liquid does still have this Baron buff powering up their minions. They're looking to push down the mid lane. Bwipo now joins their team. It is now 5-on-4. We'll see what Team Liquid can do to push a little bit further. Santorin is in the grass in the bottom right there. He is coming in with that mist. Quickly focused. He has to use his stopwatch to temporarily be invulnerable. Bwipo gets knocked out of the fight by Inspired, thanks to that ultimate. Inspired goes low, has to flash away. And now EG is in retreat, but Danny is too slow, taken down by Hans Sama, and Team Liquid takes this fight and will continue to push down the mid lane. They're turning this back in their favor. Excellent execution from Team Liquid to bait out a lot of the abilities and the commitment from Evil Geniuses, and are able to even get a kill onto the ADC as a bit of a bonus. We are now at 37 minutes elapsed, 5 kills to 7 in favor of Evil Geniuses. A big fight happening in the Drake Pit, or near the Drake Pit. Bjergsen going very low. Bwipo finds Danny out of position, takes him down. Galio ult coming in for Bjergsen, but he is very low health. He's not long for this world. Jojopin about to die, but he uses his stopwatch to stay alive. Impact trying to take down Hans Sama. There he goes. Jojopin finds Santorin out of position. Vulcan gets the final blow, and Aatrox does die. He does have a resurrection available, but it is not going to work very well. Evil Geniuses take a bad situation with their misfortune going down and turn the fight in their favor. Great plays from Bwipo to try to keep his team in it, but there is not much that he can do alone. Excellent teamwork from Evil Geniuses as they are moving into the base. Bjergsen and Core JJ coming back to try to stop them in a 2-on-3 situation. They do hold on to the base for now. They do lose a tower, so there's a little bit of a less of a defensive presence in the base for Team Liquid, but Evil Geniuses now can take this dragon uncontested and really propel themselves to take this fight and take this series with authority. That was probably the game, that was probably the fight that won them this game, because winning this dragon and getting just a little bit more of that buff and less, no, they are going to take it. Winning that team fight was instrumental to this game, because at this point, Team Liquid doesn't really have much to deal with. They do not have a whole lot to defend, so their backs are fully against the wall now. Evil Geniuses in a fantastic position to close out this game. EG planning a bit of a split push, trying to push in both the top and middle lanes. Santorin holding this single tower by himself. It will eventually fall. They're going to have to wait and defend the base for their last defense here. What can TL do? 41 minutes in. Evil Geniuses able to take down that first turret, the first inhibitor, allowing more powerful minions to spawn. It's a 5-on-5, anyone's game, but a heavy advantage to Evil Geniuses. 6,000 gold lead allows them to really take advantage of those items. Bwipo looking to try to capitalize here, but has he gone too far? He has. He is quickly jumped on and taken down by everyone. Evil Geniuses taking down everyone. The Nexus is about to fall, and the game and the series goes to Evil Geniuses. And there it is. That's the game. That is Evil Geniuses taking down Team Liquid, winning the series 3-2. They will go on and face off against 100 Thieves in the lower bracket finals with a chance to take on now Cloud9 in the upper finals. Thank you very much for watching. This was a great game between two North American powerhouses that had pretty much everything you want in a competitive League of Legends game. Close fights, individual plays, and a game that seemed like anyone could take it till the very end. Now, I understand if this is your first time and you didn't quite grasp anything of what was going on, you still have a lot of questions, I'm sure. And just know that, yes, there are a lot of moving parts to this game, but just like watching traditional sports, understanding it just comes with repetition and time. So don't feel discouraged if you didn't understand everything the first time around. Just know that the more you watch, the more you'll understand and keep track of. I really hope, though, that if this was your first game of League of Legends and first game of competitive League of Legends that you've watched, you were able to follow along at least to some degree, and hopefully as you watch my series and my coverage of the League of Legends World Championships, you'll be able to understand just a little more of what's going on and follow along with a team of your choice. Again, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in more esports updates.